The DioField Chronicle is an upcoming tactical style RPG from Square Enix and Le Carse. It is one of several pretty interesting looking RPGs releasing this fall, and the demo is available now ahead of the game's launch on September 20th in just a few days. The game will be available on pretty much every system: PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series S and X, Switch, and PC, but I checked out the demo on PlayStation 5. When you launch the game, you are given some background about the setting. The island of DioField, which has recently been engulfed in violence and chaos after a history of peace, and you are introduced to 3 soldiers who quickly become mercenaries. Andreas, Fredret, and Isolaire rescue a noblewoman who is under attack, and she recruits them to form a unit to serve Duke Hindi. As you play, you are introduced to the chaos and damage that is taking place around the rest of the world. This new band of mercenaries are sent off on various missions. Overall, the demo is about 3 hours long, and it has several missions. Most of them can be completed in about 5 to 10 minutes. The first thing that probably makes this game most appealing and most unique is its combat. When I first saw news about this game, I expected it to be fairly similar to Fire Emblem, and in some ways it is. However, the combat is a combination of Fire Emblem with some real-time strategy game elements, and it's not something that I've seen done exactly this way before. Throughout the demo, you unlock 2 soldiers, cavalrymen, an archer, and a magic user. You can only use 4 characters in a battle though. At the start of each mission, you can select who you will bring, and you can set one character as an adjutant. Adjutants provide extra skills, but they receive less XP than your normal party members. You can move around the battlefield and kill enemies, but positioning matters. Attacking from behind is advantageous. When you use a skill in combat, time freezes momentarily as you make your choice. This slows down the pace of combat a little bit and gives you a little more of a tactical sort of feel to the combat. Some minor gripes about the combat are that it can be difficult to tell everything that is going on when you engage multiple enemies and spell effects are flying all over the place. Camera positioning and movement is generally pretty good. The amount of action on screen became a slight issue for me toward the end of the demo. Also, the final mission in the demo had a significant difficulty curve. It wasn't impossible, but it was a little jarring given the relative ease of the first several missions in the game. In the demo, you have the opportunity to unlock healing and magic spells, ranged abilities, aggro generating abilities, and a variety of damage dealing attacks. You can also unleash powerful summons. During the demo, I unlocked 2, one that did damage and one that provided support. To further customize your combat, you can equip 2 accessories on each character. You can upgrade weapons, and you can unlock skills to improve each character's natural abilities. You can also upgrade the skills that you can use in combat. The upgrade and customization systems seem like they could provide a good bit of depth and opportunity for trying out various things within the game. The demo, of course, that was fairly limited, but there was still a pretty nice range of abilities and skills to use throughout the game. One of my favorite things that I liked about the game is the shortness of the missions. The longest mission in the demo took me about 7 minutes, but that was the last mission of the demo. I would be curious to see if the future missions are longer, but so far I found this to be really nice. You are also able to increase the battle speed to 1.5 times or 2 times if you want to, and I appreciated being able to adjust that as well to speed up some of the slower parts of combat. If there is a big draw to the DioField Chronicle, it has to be the combat. This element of the game is really interesting, but I think the amount of action that's happening on screen and how many spell effects could be there is a little distracting, and I think the use of positionals is a little bit clunky. It's something that I think might be better on PC than it was on PlayStation 5, but I found the positionals to be a little tricky to use. The artwork is visually appealing during combat, and the scenes had an impressive amount of variety and detail. The cinematic cutscenes look really nice, and there are these more artistically drawn and narrated scenes that give background information about the world and the game, and those had a really pleasant art style as well. However, the 3D models in the game aren't super impressive. This is probably in part due to the game releasing on the previous gen hardware and the Nintendo Switch. Overall, the character models look stiff, the facial animations are a little bit odd sometimes, and overall just not very impressive. It's pretty clear that the character models weren't a huge priority in the game, and there are definitely better looking games out there. The demo gives a little bit of background information about the story, but there is clearly much more going on. The story hasn't really gripped me yet, but I'm not at all disinterested. There's a little bit of world building and character development between each mission, but you do sort of need to go out of your way to talk to all of your characters in order to get that background information. Once you're done doing that though, you go return to your mission table to set off for your next battle. Overall, the story seems to reuse some really common JRPG tropes, but I hope that the narrative will offer more surprises in the full game. Another minor complaint is that some of the dialogue and character responses are a little bit goofy. It came off very strange at times, and this definitely could be because of localization. I'm not quite sure. If it continues, I think that could be something that affects the overall quality of the game, but it wasn't a huge distraction in the demo. It was just there enough that I did notice it. So overall, I want to ask the question about the DioField Chronicle Demo. Is it fun? And I would say overall it is fun. The combat is the thing that sets this game apart. I'm excited to see something fairly new being done, and I'm curious to see how this game does in sales. At this point though, I'm not sure that it's going to be a day one purchase for me. It's probably going to be a game that I'm going to wait for a sale to pick up. But if you are a big fan of real-time strategy games or tactical RPGs, this could definitely be a game to check out. I would at least recommend checking out the demo, as that is available now, and you can play it here in the next few days and your progress will carry over to the full game. Leave a comment below and let me know if you've tried out the DioField Chronicle Demo. If you've played it, what did you think? Are you looking forward to picking up the game when it releases? Or are you going to hold off and wait for a sale? Or are you totally not interested at all? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, have fun out there.